start from where you are, project into what you want to be. Reassessing your priorities per time is one thing that really helps me and I think can help anybody else. I help people build a career that they deserve while enjoying life to the fullest, working remotely if they like, and earning multiple six figures and whatever the heck they want to do. Hello, my name is Grace Ade. I'm a UX career coach. I love Korean historical dramas, and today you're listening to The Spotlight with Iwalola and Grace.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of The Spotlight. This podcast is for curious minds and aspiring innovators who are leading the charge in the research revolution. We dive deep to discuss inspiring, informative, and offbeat conversations on product research and strategy. My name is Iwalola-Adenle, and I am a product research and strategy lead at a leading technology company in Nigeria. Today, I'm absolutely thrilled to introduce you to a powerhouse in the world of UX design and a beacon of inspiration for aspiring product designers, the one and only Grace Ademola-Adenle. I can see you smiling.
Powerhouse.
Yes, you are now. LinkedIn top voice in design. Like you don't even understand how happy I am to have you here today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I will still say more. Let me say more. So, if you don't know Grace, she is a trailblazer in the UX industry and she is on a mission to help fellow designers carve out a career that they truly deserve while embracing life to the fullest. With an impressive track record of accolades, including being recognized as LinkedIn's top voice in design, Grace is a force to be reckoned with. Through her engaging content and valuable insights, Grace has been instrumental in empowering product designers to find their voice and succeed in their careers. In today's episode, Grace shares her journey with us, uncovering the pivotal moments that shaped her career trajectory. We'll explore her thoughts on the evolving landscape of UX design, the significance of striking a balance between work and personal life, and how she's making a positive impact in the UX community. So, whether you are a seasoned UX designer looking to elevate your career or an aspiring innovator seeking guidance, today's episode is tailor-made for you. So get ready to be inspired, enlightened, and motivated by the incredible Grace. Woo! Let's welcome Grace to the spotlight stage. Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. In case you're wondering, I'm wearing my stiletto and I'm walking on the stage. Yeah, and I'm waving at y'all. Hi.
I love the I
As
love
the
that.
celebrity that I am.
Yes, now. I hope you are. Do you feel like you're getting your flowers? Do you
I
feel like
beg flower score. I want money in my account. Like
Yes.
sterling.
As in, please, not flowers we want, is money. Cash.
Flowers. Is it like vegetables or what?
I love that. But actually, aside from money, I think you deserve the recognition. I'm so grateful you're here. Thank you so much.
Interesting. Speaking of recognition, to be honest, I really was never doing anything I was doing for recognition. I just started. I think I'd been doing it for like a while, for months or years. For years actually, before I received LinkedIn's recognition. And I'm like, okay, so people were watching. I mean, like I didn't know, I was just doing stuff.
That's amazing. So anyway, we'll get into that. But first, let's do an icebreaker so that we can kind of get to know your.
The ice has broken already. Okay,
but
let's
yeah, a few minutes. So we're going to do this or that. I'll ask you a series of choices, and then, for example, maybe like coffee or tea, and then you quickly just say which of them is your preference, right? I might ask you maybe why you said certain things, but don't worry, they're very chill, nothing serious. Okay. Number one, in person or remote work?
Remote. Forever and ever.
Forever?
Forever and ever.
Oh, wow.
I actually don't remember when last I worked in person.
Oh wow.
Even way before the pandemic, I've been
Are you
working
serious?
remotely. Yeah, maybe since 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, so remote forever, please.
Wow. So
Now
just
that
a
I
quick
even have a
question.
2-year-old child, it must be remote, and I have a family, man. So
Mm. Yeah, but then don't you find that it's hard to like draw that line between where work stop and then life happens?
it's not hard for me.
Okay.
Maybe it was hard. Was it really hard in the beginning? Not really. I think in the beginning, like earlier in my career, like as a product designer, I was like, I think I was because I was living alone. It wasn't like, I mean, I just what I was I doing? I wake up in the morning, I eat, I cook food, I eat, I walk. When I finish working, if I want to go to church, I go to church, come back, do work again, watch a lot of Korean movies, by the way. I love Korean movies. When I finish that one, then what again? I sleep. The cycle continues. I was a single lady. I was seeing one or two guys, by the
Ah,
side,
one or
one or
two
two.
guys.
But
Yeah.
basically, remote work, no, it never like that. But now I have created like more of a structure, so it never like there's no the line is not blurred. I'll talk about it later, but
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
it's
get into
not.
that. Awesome. So Twitter or Instagram?
Actually, these days, none of them, none of them. It's LinkedIn,
LinkedIn. Okay.
LinkedIn. Though I'm never a Twitter person. I don't like the energy. I don't like the Twitter energy.
Okay. So have
But
you
if I had to choose one, absolutely, I'll still choose IG. I mean, I
okay.
just watch a lot of stuff on IG and I laugh and all that. Once in a while, I post there, but I'm more of a LinkedIn person. I'm serious, serious with my life.
Okay, so since you don't like Twitter energy, have you been on threads?
I was one of the people that jumped on it,
Okay.
like out of I think it was the old FOMO, fear of missing out, whatever.
Mm,
But then
yeah.
not really. I was like, let me go and see what they are doing there. I think it was my husband was like, threads, okay. And I'm like, threads, okay, what happened? I
When last
opened
did
the
you open
threads.
it?
I just looked, I don't remember when last I opened it. I opened it that day. I posted something. Maybe the next day I posted something funny about my child. Like, I'm like, I beg, I know they do. I mean, they're just too much. There's too
Yeah.
much to keep up with. There's Facebook, there's IG, there is
Mm-hmm.
Twitter. I have all the accounts. I mean,
As
LinkedIn is the only
in,
one that I think I'm really committed to. The rest,
mm,
well,
yeah.
anything that's not bringing money into my account, I beg.
I really like the direction LinkedIn is going. It's serious but not so serious like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's
I
more
like that.
community now. So I'm
They are
really
now
enjoying that.
bringing even like reels. So they are trying to bring in reels idea. I smell it coming already
Oh, are you
with the whole.
serious?
They have stories. They have stories now, so they are going
Wow.
closer.
I never even knew that.
Oh, there's for a very long time. There's LinkedIn, though I don't
Wow.
think that people are really using it because maybe people are
Using it.
not aware.
Mm.
Maybe it's never. Maybe the design is not very obvious, but they have LinkedIn stories. So I smell reels coming in one day, very soon, or at least maybe like YouTube Shorts. I think
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
soon.
I think that makes sense for them.
Yeah.
True. Okay, so Figma or Adobe XD?
Figma at the
Figma.
BXD is so 1920. 1920.
Wahala.
Figma.
Oh,
Though
gosh.
to be honest, since the new landlords took over, I'm
Mm,
not too much of a fan of the new landlords. I just know those particular landlords, once they own anything,
mm,
um uh, things fall apart really.
mm. I
So
think
but
I
let's see for now.
yeah, I think I actually understand where you're coming from. I think
Yeah.
so. So what did you learn design with? What design tool did
It
you?
was it's been a very long time. Oh. It was what they call it? What was this tool called? Something fireworks.
Oh wow,
I
okay.
think it
I
was an
know.
Adobe tool. They
Okay.
had Dreamweaver, they had fireworks, they had I think there was Flash then or something. Like I've been doing design a very long time, even before like my official countdown or
Wow.
starting point of design. Like that's been
Mm.
very, very long. Fireworks, I think is what they called it.
Wow, amazing. I've never heard of fireworks. Interesting.
Very, very old. That was what was raining. The people were using Dreamweaver
Okay.
to do the to write the codes to quickly
Okay.
convert your fireworks. Is it fireworks they call it? I think it's fireworks. Yes, fire something fireworks. You then use fireworks to do like the design. You now use Dreamweaver to write the codes. They're like brother and sister or something.
Amazing. So I've learned something new today.
Yes, now it's Adobe Fireworks. Yeah.
Oh
I'm ready.
wow, interesting. I wonder how many people here that are listening right now can say they've used fireworks. If you have, please come and jam your colleague here, Grace.
Yeah, I'm ancient. This tool was okay. I'm not that ancient. Give people a wonder. I'm not that old. But
Yeah.
yeah,
You
I'm still
well, you
getting
definitely don't
there.
look old, even though I don't know your age,
Exactly.
but
I don't look old, so I'm not even old. So
yeah. And you don't even look like a mom of anybody. You look like you're still living your young life, your single life.
forget it. It's only when you dress up that people will say that one. If you are in my inner, if you are, we have the stomach. Let's be honest. Stomach shows for that a woman being has
As
lived
somebody
here.
has been here.
Eh, unless I do, the other one, go under the knife.
Ah,
The evidence is there. Let's not deceive
yeah.
deceive ourselves. Those that don't know.
Abi, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Gosh. Okay, we have two more.
Yeah.
Okay, async or async communication.
You're speaking too much grammar.
Oh, sorry.
Async is in sync. I understand though. I think it's
Okay.
both of them. I prefer async most of the time because all those meetings can be really like draining and too much talk. But then sometimes, especially for remote when you're remote workers, I think sync like direct meetings like are really better. But some companies have not been able to find the balance,
Mm,
which now becomes really stressful for the workers or for the
mm,
employees.
yeah. I actually think a mix of both. Like, I think I'm on the same page as you. I think a mix of both. I think for meetings, I think a lot of us have not figured out how to make meetings how do I say it's like effective. I think sometimes we just go deep on the meeting and you're just
Yeah, it's
talking.
just to show up like, okay, I'm working, I'm there.
Exactly.
See, you're in meetings
Exactly.
that do not concern you. Like, you have no
Exactly.
business being in a meeting, but so that they'll not think, especially remote workers, they'll not think
Mm.
I've been sleeping or just going to spa. You
As
know, I have
in,
to, I have to show up and
yeah.
I must do something.
Yeah, and you must say something. So it will be like,
Must something.
we
Hey, you
don't
can't be
for
quiet. You
me.
can't be quiet. Even if you put off your video throughout, maybe like 10 seconds there, just on your video, look good.
Mm,
Show up and say one or two smart things and then go off.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
involved in there. Let's not lie.
Oh, okay. What's the last one? Okay, fig jam or mirror?
Mirror. Fig
Mirror.
jam is still
Okay.
trying. They are even snailing. They are snails. Where mirror is flying.
As
Fig
in,
jam, what's fig jam? I used I think for the past like almost a year now I've been using fig jam by force, but like
okay.
mirror still has my heart. Like anytime I'm working on a personal project or if I want to do something that I really want to do fast and I want to do it really nicely, I'm gonna use
Mm,
mirror and
yeah.
download the PDF for them and send it to
I
them.
said, yeah. No, why there isn't a fig jam mirror integration now where you can actually just
Ah,
that would be
good
nice.
for them.
That would
Oh,
be
are you
nice.
saying there is or there will
I know.
be?
I said I wonder why there isn't. I feel like
There
that would.
can't be because they are two direct competitors. It cannot
Hmm.
happen.
Hmm. They want to make life
FigJam
easier
is
for
trying
each
to
other.
take its place. Yes, now
Yeah.
the whole point. FigJam is not too old in the market. FigJam
Mm,
is trying to say, okay, since you people are doing all these things in Miro, why don't we bring
mm,
it into Figma?
mm,
But if you
mm.
really want to do that, then why don't you just do like certain like companies? I don't want to mention the name of the companies that literally just copies what other social media are
Abi,
doing. Why don't you just do that, right?
yes. Abi. Oh gosh. But I think Figma, I feel like Figma is like the apple of design. As in,
Yeah,
they
in
want to
that
set their
sense.
own pace. They want to do things. They don't want to just copy. So, well,
Yeah.
that could be a good or bad thing.
Well,
Awesome. So I think we know a little bit about
ask me one more icebreaker now. One more. I thought you were going to
one
ask me
more.
the coffee and tea icebreaker. I
Oh
was
yeah,
waiting for
coffee
you.
or tea. Oh yeah, coffee or tea.
Nigerian tea, Neo. Nigerian tea. The one that is thick Milo and God, my love
Correct.
for milk. God, me and milk. Hey God, dry. I mean powder milk,
Other
not
milk, yeah.
UK or be US milk. Oh,
Mm,
not those water milk. I'm talking about the
yeah.
thick one. And you put like scoop like 10 spoons of milk inside. Hey, my God! In short, I used to lick the milk dry.
Oh, that was my next question. Were you all those children that you go and be licking the powdered milk when you're
Children
10?
care. What do you mean my children? I have a whole big tin of powder milk inside my
Even
cupboard
now,
right now. I still did it like 5 minutes before our meeting. What do you mean by children? Hey, my father, my
Oh
father.
my gosh. That's me, Sha. I can't even lie. At a point, I used to actually, yeah, like I think you said now, just go and scoop some and enjoy my life. I think this life is too short. Oh
Though
gosh.
I honestly have to stop it. I have to stop it
Okay.
because I'm diabetic, so
Oh,
is really bad for my health. But that's like an addiction, honest. Don't you don't turn to addiction. I need to
at
stop
this
it.
point, oh
At this
wow.
point, it's becoming a problem for me.
Yeah. Also, so how you doing? Um,
I'm good.
your health, I mean.
Oh, my health. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I just got diagnosed. At least I officially knew about it December last year. So it's been a struggle, to be honest. Like, I mean, though it didn't really shock me per se, but it just like, just one of those things that you're like, I saw it coming, but why? Because my parents have the same thing, and
Oh, okay.
so it's not even really surprising. My siblings, good for them, they it skips their head, but it
Oh,
just
wow.
jumps on my head. So,
Wow. Are you the
so
first
it's really
child?
annoying, but what do you say?
Are you the first child?
I'm the first child though. The thing
Oh
just came on
wow.
my head like that.
So the glory of the first child, you took it on behalf of your siblings.
So I did not ask for the position, no.
Oh wow, the glory of the first
Yeah,
child.
I have the glory of the first child. Glory to God.
Yeah,
I will take it as glory.
yeah,
But I know it will go in time.
yeah,
I'm trying to activate my faith.
yeah. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
So Grace, we've got to know you a bit. We know that you like Nigerian tea, Abi. We know
Thank
that
you.
you're not a fan of Twitter and a certain man, a certain person. Oh gosh. So we also know that you prefer Mirror for your personal projects, well, in general as well, right? Fig
I have
Jam,
to use
and that
Figma. Big jam,
you,
yeah.
yeah, and that you are a Figma boss, and you're one of the OGs of design. You use fireworks.
Oh gee. Okay.
I can bet many people don't know about fireworks. So
I'm
that,
sure
that,
it.
that
I'm sure
that's
it.
what should
Especially all this new UI UX. Everybody will sit tight to UI UX,
UI
UI
UX. All of us are UI UX. So, oh gosh.
Yeah.
So that's why you're here now to help us upskill, right? So Grace, please
Mm.
can you tell us a bit more about you and what you do?
Okay, so let me read my official
Are you
my official
okay?
introduction.
Oh yeah.
The one I crafted recently.
Okay.
So I say I help people build a career that they deserve while enjoying life to the fullest. Working remotely if they like, and earning multiple six figures and whatever the heck they want to do.
Hey.
And, and then, well, I stumbled into tech, over 10 years ago. Actually, it's like 13 years ago. And because of that, I started my trainings and like career development programs, especially to help people not to stumble around the way I did and just basically get on the right track ASAP,
Mhm.
as quickly as possible. Um, and I think where I focus more on these days is the gap between the gown and the town. So what that means is the gown is learning in school or even whatever, maybe programmer, whatever, or writing or designing, whatever it is that that's like the gown. And then the town is where you're supposed to be using all this knowledge, in the workplace and on projects, and also like there is that big gap in between both of them that I've noticed. A lot of people have the knowledge but don't have the skills to actually work in the workplace, or the workplace is not seeing the skills they need. There's just that disjoint. So what I do, I register like a company now. New name is Dream Knowledge, but for those that have known me before, it was called Command Design. Command Design is trademarked in the UK, so I had to re-register.
Oh no, who is that person?
I don't know. They just took the name for no
Can you
reason.
imagine?
And so I registered Dream Knowledge to focus on this gap that I talked about. And um I officially started last month, that's July. But I'm kicking off proper coaching this month. So yeah, for those that are interested in booking a one-on-one, awesome. I actually today I opened my calendar up for 20 minutes free chat. This one is free, complimentary. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Complimentary free chat, but basically um fully for the full chats and all that. You can book a one-on-one for an hour or more hours if you like. And I have a couple of programs coming up. So if you want to know more about that, just check my LinkedIn. I post a lot about those. Um, but for those that wonder, I currently work with what's their name now? With Meta as a contract staff. So that's basically just product designer working on the avatar team. Um, yeah, so that's what I currently do. I work with them as a contract staff through a company called Acorns. They say I have to be mentioning all these long things when I'm introducing myself. So that's why I'm saying contract staff. You understand?
Okay.
And so yeah, I've worked in different industries, but I think I'm now at that point in time. Actually, for the past about 3 4 months, it happens once in a while. I ask myself, what's the point of this whole thing? I mean, what is my point? What exactly is the point of my existence? Is it just to do stuff at companies and just like make a truckload of money, and then to what end? So because of that, I that was the main reason why I was like, okay, let me re-register this thing. Let me start this thing again. Yeah. Let's see if it can be able to replace all the money I make eventually one day.
Yes. So,
But for now, let's just start. Yeah.
oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. So it was like you looked around and you said, what can I do not just for yourself, right, but for other
Yeah.
people. That's amazing.
Actually, it's not even just recently. I'd done that like it's something like I say, something I do often. Like,
Mm,
what's my point? What's the point of everything I'm doing? But
mm,
also I started doing this like more like 2018 or 2019. This is it's not even anything new. It's just that once in a while I stop and then I start again. I get distracted with whatever project or company I'm working with at the time, and then people send me messages, and I'll just ghost them for a period of time. But I'm like, I've decided new me. I know it's not a new year. It's not New Year resolution, but I have resolved no more ghosting.
yeah. Oh my God, I feel I'm guilty of that as well. I think it's a
I think it's
result of,
overwhelmed.
yeah,
It's
overwhelm,
overwhelmed.
yeah, because it's like there are too many things happening and you just want to control certain things within your
Yes.
vicinity.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's
yeah,
it.
wow.
Honestly, I feel like it's not good and it's not
Mm,
fair, especially to
mm.
the people that are reaching out. It's so
On the
not fair.
receiving, yes, yeah.
Yeah, but then again, once in a while, you have to just prioritize yourself and be like, oh
Mm-hmm,
my God, I need a break.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I
I
can
think we
totally
could be more
understand.
proactive. I think
Yeah.
we could be more proactive rather than reacting when the whole overwhelm comes. We could like
Mm,
plan ahead, which is what I've now been able to do better in the past like couple of months. I leave one particular day of the week to to just relax, do whatever it is I feel like doing, and that's Wednesdays. Yeah, actually, that's Wednesdays.
amazing.
I just leave Wednesdays to be like, okay, I'm just going to do what I want to do. It might be I want to go and get my nails done. It could be I want to go and I just want to sleep in my bed. For instance, after this thing,
You're
this
going
work,
to
I'm going to my bed. I'll just go and up the bed, or I'll just go and sit on my couch and watch Netflix. The way
mm,
I've been able to do that, even though it's my work day, I will
mm,
do most of my work very early in the morning or
mm,
later in the night, or I'll have done it the day before or the day
mm,
after.
mm.
Most deliverables, once you fall into the rhythm of a job of a project, you already know what you need to do at a
Mm.
certain time, so you can plan
Right.
yourself better so
Yeah.
that you're not always busy. I mean, especially if you're working in a team that doesn't burden you with too much
Mm,
meetings.
mm.
Like my current team, Wednesday is actually a day that there is actually no meeting. No, we don't have any meetings at all. They give
That's,
everybody a break,
that's
which it
that's
actually
amazing.
coincides with my own plan. I've been having Wednesdays has always been my best day for several years, so it just coincides, and which is great. So some other days I would just take a paid, like I could just take a paid leave and let it fall on that same day. And oh my god, the whole town, I'll paint the town red. When I say town red, it could be me sleeping in the house. So
Well, that's part of it. It's part of it.
you know, yeah. So that's one way I've been able to like unwind. Most people do Fridays, but I realized that I don't really used to have much of a restful weekend anyway with a 2 year
Mm.
old. So what's the point? I mean, let me do my own in the middle of the week.
Yeah. And then if you actually want to go out that day, everyone's at work, so you literally have
Yeah,
everywhere to yourself. So
exactly. There's no queue anywhere. Like, if you want to
mm,
watch a movie, you're
just
this movie you are here to watch.
you
When you
get
want to eat, it's not overcrowded of people. If you want to go
yeah,
and do your nails, you don't need to queue for like
as in
20 hours. And they tell you there's plenty of people here. You don't even need to even book appointment. Just walk in.
just walking. Yeah, I can
So
totally relate.
that's what I've been doing, and it really helps with the whole overwhelm.
Mhm.
Yeah, it does.
That's amazing. So I wanted to ask you something, but I think there was something you were saying. You said you'd been doing command for a few years. I
Yeah.
think I mentioned this but I don't know, definitely can't place me, but I think this was 2021
Hmm.
and in my first UX research role. And I don't even remember how I stumbled across you, to be honest, but I know you were doing like a research. I can't remember what it was, but it was like a
Yeah.
live thing. Then
I
you also
was doing
did
a live session.
a live
Ah,
session, yes.
Omo, don't say
I
God.
think
I've done all sorts of things. Like I was really enjoying all those things. Like okay, yeah, I did like a couple of weeks. Like design, I think it was called Design with Me or something like that. It
yeah,
was
I,
really
I really
good.
can't
Like
remember,
follow the
yeah.
whole process of design, from
Mhm.
research to actually designing. Hmm.
Yeah. And then you put
Awesome
out
stuff.
like a form and you asked us to like put like our details and then you would follow up. And in my mind I'm thinking, how is this person able to do this? Like with her work and everything at like I couldn't fathom it, to be honest. But I just
Um,
want you to know that
it
you've
was
made
just
a contributing
passion,
part
to be
to
honest.
this
It was completely passion. I think as of that time, I was teaching strictly product design. I was teaching like on the side. There were people that I was training, but then there were some people that were not able to afford the training. So for that reason, I was doing all those live sessions. I'm like, okay, let me help as many people as possible. So like then I was teaching product design. Now I've decided I'm not teaching that anymore. Not because I can't teach it. I can even teach it way better than before. But there are so many people already doing that. There
Mm.
are many great like programs and all of that online. Like there are also really bad ones, but there
Mm.
are good ones out there. So why reinvent like the wheel? Like there's no
Mm.
point doing that. I'd rather do something that I see is a big problem. A lot of people have they feel they have adequate portfolios and they feel they've been applying for jobs but they are being ghosted, they are not getting the jobs, but then they don't know that getting a job or getting a not just any kind of job, getting your dream job
Mm.
is a bit of it's like what's this dance? Is it tango dance? This dance that they say,
Angle. Yeah.
yeah, it's a delicate dance. It's not just the fact that I know what the interviewer is going to ask, I know how I'm going to answer, or it's not just about it's not just like straight arrow. There are some things you need to know how to do. For instance, you need to be able to, even through reading job description, you should be able to like see the red flags immediately. Like
Mm.
they are not. If I'm looking for a job right now, I say to people not to even boast. I say that if I decide now that I want to find a job, it won't take me 1 month. I will find a really good job, as in I will land the offer.
Amazing.
It does not take me that long. And the reason is because I know exactly what I want. Like I am
Mm.
crystal clear on it. And that's one of the things I help people with. Like I know the kind of job I don't want. Even if I take up a job that I don't want, I am clear from the beginning that maybe it is just money I'm looking for there. Like
Mm.
I
I
know
get
this job is not going to last.
mm.
So but if I'm looking for like a career kind of job, I know how to go about it. And many people don't know that there's a lot that goes into um getting a really good job. Not
Mm.
like one that I just managing, like, I'm
Mm.
speaking a lot of Nigerian balance. More.
Yeah. People are starting though. People understand us. If you can vibe to like Burna Boy music or Whiskey, Please, you can
Thank you.
understand. I
You
beg.
have to understand. That's
Yeah.
one of the things I say jokingly to people. Like, I will never change my accent. I mean, I don't have the interest. They understand. I've seen it. I work in these organizations, these big
Mm,
organizations with foreign people. In short, on my team, there's not one. Actually, there's no Nigerian. There's no like core African kind of black
okay.
people we have. Are people that have lived abroad all their life, and they understand me clearly, very
Mm,
clearly. They don't even say pardon. They
wow.
know. They hear me clearly. We have
Yeah.
serious conversation for hours
Okay.
sometimes, and no problem. So I don't. Why am I changing my accent
As
for
in,
who?
you not be struggling, not be biting your tongue. Oh God.
You see people all this fake American accent, fake British accent.
Oh,
For who? I don't go. Since I stepped land into this land, I told them
wow.
I've conditioned myself that they will open their ear and they will hear me.
Mm, yeah, if you can dance Afrobeat to Afrobeat music, please, you can
I know,
understand
right?
our own phone. This is our own phone.
Yes.
Oh, wow. So how would you say you got to like this point in your career where you're like you know exactly what to do to land you the job that you want? Like, was there a particular moment or something you did that got you to this point?
Mm-mm. There was no particular moment. I can't say like, oh, on the 1st of July, or I, I can't say like a particular day or like it happened in a moment. I think I don't know if I would say it's like my superpower or super gift. I'm able to like I'm self aware. I think
Mm,
that's what I would say. I'm self aware of what I excel in and what I don't. It's the same way like it doesn't really cost me too much to apologize to say I'm sorry because like I'm self-aware. I know like when I'm weak, so to say. So
mm,
like um initially there was the whole everybody goes through that phase where you are like you feel like oh you have to apply for so many jobs, like it's more like playing the number game,
mm. It's
especially when you're
one,
early in your
one.
career.
Mm,
Yeah, and you just want to get through. um Everybody does that. Honestly, I didn't really do that. I think because I started as an engineer, I started like what I'm doing now. I started as writing code. I was writing backend codes, Java, PHP,
hey,
Node.js. But when I see the codes, I still understand them.
I doubt.
I mean, and then I went to front end development. Um, at the time I was writing React, I didn't really like it, so I was writing Vue.js. Vue.js I loved a lot.
Wow.
So because I started first as an engineer, um, there was a lot about the tech space that I already knew and understood. So I wasn't like a newbie per se. About 7 years ago, when I started like product design officially. So even my very first job I did in UX design, I was my official role was actually front end development. But
Oh,
when
okay.
I got into the company, I saw that there was not much of any design or anything going on. It was more like things would just pop into their head and they just start doing it.
Wow.
I basically like I think that was like maybe 2017 or so. So I was just like, okay, let me take up this let me take this. They not had my extra money to my salary, but I took up the
Yeah.
responsibility. And that's something else I tell people. I'm not I'm not one of the fans. I'm not a fan of internship, to be
Mm,
honest. I'm
okay.
not I never like when people ask me, well, how do I start, do I get a job? Like I don't prefer the solution of oh get internship. No. I'm more of start from where you are. Projects into what you want to be. Like it's more like a past, present, future kind of timeline. Like so for me, how I got to where I am, like I don't know if I can't put it all together like in few words because it was like different points in my life. I always knew something I wanted, which was like from when I was maybe 17 or 18. I always knew in my mind, I never said it to anybody actually, that I wanted a life. I wanted to build a life where I can be physically present for my family. I knew in the future I was going to like get like have a family. I knew I was going to get married one day. I was going to have children or a child. Which one is children, Seth? Have a child.
You are speaking into the future.
I mean, one is enough for now. So, so it might even be enough forever. God will still have to touch my heart to remove this
Yes.
thing that in my hand. So, as I was saying, so I knew like I wanted this kind of life, but I was also seeing families. I was seeing examples of situations where the man is very busy, the woman is very busy. I'm talking of a traditional family now. Like they
Mm,
are very busy, and then the children are just like, I mean, at the core of it, the children are lonely. And that's the core of it. Let's forget about the rebelliousness and all of that. All those ones are reactions. But
mm,
at the core of it, the children are lonely. They miss the people that should be physically there. They might have everything they need. Actually, I went to school with very, very like, I went to an expensive school. One of like my secondary school was one of the big schools in Lagos there. But I realized that that was something, I think that experience was forming something in my mind. My own parents were always present, but I told myself I wanted a situation where I was physically present for my own family, not just for my child. Like, I mean, I could get married and not have child. So it wasn't about just a child, but like
mm.
for my family. And so that consciousness guided me in my career choices. From one of the, I think one of the roles that I took, one of the roles that I took, I laugh because anytime I remember this story, it really cracks me up.
Ah,
One of
please
the roles
tell us.
I one of the roles I took many years ago. So I think it's the same. I think that was my first. Yeah, that was my first role as a product designer, the one I was telling you a moment ago. So I
Okay.
specifically negotiated for me to only come to the office. Is it 2 times per week or 3 times per week? I can't remember. Every single person in the company, when I say every single person, I mean including the CEO, goes
Wow.
to the office every blessed day. But I told them it's a take it or leave it. Like, and I was still single. Like, I was
Wow.
living on, I was living on my own. I was like, I even told them in addition that I had an extra job that I was doing. That, and this was a
And
full time role. Anytime I remember this story, God, I don't even know
wow.
where I got the guts from. Like,
Wow.
I told them like I haven't, because I was doing another job as at the time
Mhm,
they wanted me to work with them. Actually, it was the team lead that was so serious. He really wanted me to work
mhm.
with him. You should let me call his name Valentine in case he's listening. Valentine Abako, that's
Ah,
his name.
the full government.
He
Wow.
really wanted me to join the team, and in short, up to today, he still tells me that I'm stubborn because I said, see, that is what I want. I mean, like I'm going to keep that other job because it was a teaching job. I
Okay.
enjoyed teaching. I was teaching coding. I was teaching software development coding. I was teaching, was it React? I think even though I didn't like it, I think I was teaching then, and I was like, I that job I still want to keep it. So for that reason, I can only be coming to people's office 2 times I think per week, and you still pay me my complete money. This was
Exactly.
20. What was it? I can't 2017, I think. I think I did a contract job for them initially, and then I wanted me to join the team full time. I said I know they do. I don't want to join full time. I'm fine as I am. But Valentine insisted, and I'm like, okay, fine. These are my conditions. And I mentioned how much I wanted. I think then they wanted to give me 150K. I said, what I want to do if I was like, I mean, like what I want is like I think I can't remember the exact amount, but I'm like the minimum I'll collect is 180K. I was going to be working remotely most of the time,
Okay.
but in addition, they thought I was talking about like gross salary. When I did now sent they now sent my offer letter, and I saw that the total amount, and I broke everything down and then added it up to 180K. I said no. Why
Okay.
like who that one help? Like, what's my business with
Mm,
180?
mm,
Like that money is not going to hit my account. I'm talking about what's going to hit my account. So you guys
mm,
should calculate it anyhow you want to calculate it. All I want is I want 180K into my account because I calculated it like, okay, this is where it's going to be worth it. Like, I mean, and that
mm.
was what I wanted. And that's what I got.
Wow.
It still cracks
Wow.
me up because when I left the job in 2019, I think, in 2019, they really didn't want me to go. They were trying to negotiate. It was even surprising to them when I left the job. And yeah, 2019 was when I left. like March or so. And then the next job I worked on, I was also poached from LinkedIn actually.
Oh wow.
And the COO, I think, was one that saw me. And it's not a small company, it's fairly big in Nigeria. And anybody that knows my history already knows the company I'm talking about. So basically, um, but to cut the long story short, I'll say like my journey to where I am was not like very straightforward, but
Mm,
at the core of it was like me knowing exactly what I wanted and being clear in my communication of it. The same thing happened similarly in the second job that I was just talking about now, which is like the negotiation thing.
mm,
They wanted to pay me, what was it, 350 or 400. I really don't remember. And I was like, no, I'm not okay. No, I think it was maybe 380 or something. I said, no, that's not enough.
mm,
And that was a fully remote job. So I was
mm,
like, the minimum I'll collect is 420.
mm.
Again, they made the mistake thinking I was talking about gross. And
Gross.
I'm like, hell no, what's my business with that? I'm talking about what's going to hit my account,
Mm,
what I'm
mm.
going to spend.
Yes, wow.
And okay, so I think I was trying to negotiate for 450, and they're like, okay, please join us first. In is it 3 months or 6 months or so, would negotiate again and all that. So I joined in for 420 net. I'm saying all these numbers basically to like to tell the listeners, tell my listeners that there's progressive growth.
Mm,
Everything, like you can't get everything you want like all at once.
mhm,
And then but at the same time you don't just settle for like less just because you
mm,
want to manage something. You need to be clear on what you want and know where you are, know the bottom line, know how much you're spending. Like it's more like running a business, only that you're running a business of your own life, right? It's
yeah.
like running a business. Like if you're running a business, you need to calculate what your sales will be. You need to know, okay, this is the cost price, and then this is profit that I'll add on top for it to even be profitable and worth my time. So
Mm,
that's the way I look at it. I'm running a business of my life, even though strictly is like I'm an employee, but I have to let
right.
it make sense. I'm like, make it make sense. If it does not make sense, what am I doing?
Mm,
I'd rather spend the time. I
mm,
mean, I don't come from a rich home, in case somebody has been wondering. Even though I said I went to an expensive school, my family was one of the very, very modest ones. It was
okay.
just my parents made a lot of sacrifice. Like eventually we had to drop out of that expensive school.
Oh no.
Sorry for that day. Had to drop out from the expensive school because we're not able to keep up with the payments. But
Okay.
that exposure was enough for it to change my life in different ways. So it's not like, oh, I grew up with silver spoon. So man, I'm used to spending large and making a lot of money. Nah, it's nothing like that.
Mm,
It's just how I already know. It's just what I know that I know about
mm.
myself. I know who I am.
Yes. So I think if I could encapsulate everything you've said, I would say the things that you're saying we should learn is one, knowing ourselves, our worth, one.
Mm,
Secondly, being able to communicate what we want and then
yes.
going for it, right? So I
Yes.
mean that's very like very valid, I would say. And
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that. Um would you say you have any things that you regret? You in telling us like the little bit you've told us about yourself. Is there anything you would say you regret? Things that you feel you wish you didn't do, or something you wish you had done, maybe an opportunity you wish you had taken, just
Hmm.
looking back,
Hmm.
on the past few years.
Yeah, so I think self doubt would be like the one of the biggest regrets I have. I don't like it's weird for me to say that. I know because many people don't believe that, even though I exude so much like confidence sometimes or a lot of times I have self doubt. I have self doubt. I think it's only my husband that knows.
Wow.
he's, he's my sounding board. Sometimes I'll just talk and he'll be like, "What's worrying you? What's worrying you?" Like, you that everybody is seeing like this, like this. I'm like, okay, okay, okay. And I get myself together again. So I
Mm,
think, like, if only I didn't have as much self doubt that I've had over a while, over like years, I think I might have gone like much further. But I
mm,
think practically one of the other regrets I have would be that maybe Um, I don't know if this is a regret because actually it's not really a regret because I was going to say focusing a lot on like making money. It's not really a regret because part time I set my priorities. I set my priorities like I reset my priorities part time. So
Mm.
so that's no regret. So scratch that one. I don't know. I don't know really.
Mm.
The kind of regrets I have, the kind of things I would call regrets, are not really regrets because they are
Mm.
more like just like passing points in my journey, my story. Like
Mm.
if those things did not happen, I mean, I would not be where I am. So I don't know if I would like. I don't really have regrets to be honest. One time I was supposed to go to Mauritius to study my master's. Ha! That's reminded me of what somebody might call a regret. So I
Okay.
was supposed to go to Mauritius for my master's. I got the whole offer and everything, and I was supposed to go there. What happened, Seth? I didn't have the money. Like I didn't have
Oh,
the money was not complete. That was just a couple of years ago.
okay.
Um, I think um I didn't have like a conventional education. When I say conventional, I mean I didn't go to university. I didn't study the whole 4 years and all those kind of things, or 3 years or whatever, like up to now.
Okay.
So straight out of secondary school, I got into tech and then like certifications. I have a lot of certifications and all, but no degree. So um while a lot of people would be like, wow, that's admirable. But I think that's where the self doubt I was talking about came
Okay.
in. Because
Mm.
a lot of emphasis in the societies had been placed on having a certificate and all. So I
Mm.
think that bothered me somewhere in my mind. That I felt like maybe I don't know this thing. Maybe I don't know this thing. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing because of this and all. Despite evidence pointing in the opposite direction, but I still had that those self doubts. So like
Yeah.
I remember 2020. This is after I'd been practicing.
Okay.
Excuse me. This after I'd been practicing for like 3 years or so. I remember 2023, 2020. I mean, well, early 2020, I was like, in short, I started in 2019. I was like, I need to learn product design all over again. And I'm like, I don't even
Mm.
know where that thought came from.
Wow.
And this was after the job I was telling you that I got, that was like 420K that was being paid.
Wow. Imagine.
Like I was actually in that particular job when those funny thoughts were coming to my head, and I'm like,
Mm.
okay, I actually paid about $1,000 for a training program just to learn product design.
Wow.
Product design I was already practicing, um,
Mm.
but honestly, I did it for two reasons. One was because I what I've just said, this whole self doubt thing, but also I wanted to, because I wanted to get into training other people on product design. I wanted to see how a structured program looked like. That was why
Okay.
I paid that amount of money.
Okay.
So I have paid a lot of money for different kind of trainings over the years, which is why sometimes I know I'm digressing now, but which is why sometimes when someone tells somebody else, oh, pay this amount of money for this particular knowledge, or pay this amount of money for time, maybe like for a coaching session, for instance. If I tell somebody, oh, you want 1 hour of my time, you've got to
Mm.
pay £90 or pay £100 or pay £150 or something. And then the
Mm.
person's like, oh my God, this woman is all about money. It's only money. Or, oh, I don't even have the money. And I'm like,
Ah.
that's how you not have the money. Because it's money that they used to find money. You know, Yoruba people say, oh, laughing, wo. It's
Mm-hmm.
money you use to find money. You cannot leave the point where you are in if you don't get knowledge. And without pain, how do they used to say it? There's no gain. There's no gain. So me that I even paid that £1,000 that I said, I'm sorry, dollars, $1,000 I paid for that training. It was not like the money was there. I staggered the payments over
Okay.
months.
Okay.
And eventually I paid it. I did my training. After that, I've done a training where I paid 250K for a coaching, right?
Okay.
I've also done another one where I paid about $1,500 actually
Wow.
for another training. I've paid for trainings because I know that without trainings I can't get to where I want to be. I've paid coaches, I've paid people. Like sometimes my husband is like, "Hey, see this babe, the one you did last year, uncle," and I'm like, "I've used the knowledge already. I have used it,
Exactly. You
and
need to a
besides,
new
I have
one.
the access. Yes, now I have the access to the knowledge. It's right there." Right, I
Mm,
can tap into it anytime I need. This new one that I want is not the same that I wanted last year. So
mm.
the one I paid for this year now, I paid for another training about how much is it? 1,900 something. I don't remember
Wow.
dollars. Though I'm still paying it little by little. I staggered the
Okay.
payment over 10 months. I'm still paying it. I think I'll be done in October. But it's something that I understand that without trainings, I can't get to that place that I want to be. Like
Mm.
I'm just clear with that. So see, I've left the question that you asked already.
No, actually, I think we are basically you told us about something I mean you look back a bit, maybe not regret, but like maybe you wish you had taken the opportunity. But then you're also telling us about how you've gotten to where you are right now. Which
Yeah.
of these would you say, or what would you say has been the most beneficial investment in your career?
It's a bit these tradings that I'm talking about.
Okay,
So like the one I said I did in 2020, that one was core product design course. It was actually Udacity.
okay.
Um,
Oh yes, I've done a Udacity course as
yes,
well. I can vouch for them.
yes, it was a really good one.
Mm,
So I did that training. Um, it wasn't like great by today's
mm,
standards. They probably have
mm,
upgraded the curriculum, but
mm,
then it wasn't like terrible. But because I
mm.
already had the knowledge, I just breezed through it. It was more like I mean, I was just doing it just to have access.
Reaffirmation.
Yeah, exactly. And then to also have access to their curriculum, I'm like, okay,
Okay.
okay, now I can use this to structure my own program. As
Mm,
at that time, that was part of my intention. So, like, I think the trainings that I've done over time have been like really great investments. Um,
mm,
which leads me to like where I am right now, which
mm,
is I've been thinking about like the thing I said earlier, which is like what next? I mean, what's my whole point? What's my essence?
mhm.
What's my essence? And that was what made me to pay for the other training of this year, the one that I said is almost $2,000. And
Yeah.
I paid for that training so that I could learn how to coach. So it was a coaching program. So because it's beyond just opening your mouth and saying, "Oh, you're a mentor or you're a coach," and
Yeah.
you get people together and then you just like whether it's for free or not, but you basically are wasting time, wasting people's time. And coaching is meant to be more transformational rather than just informational. Like, I mean,
Right.
people have all the information already.
Mm.
That's the real problem me I'm trying to solve. They have the information, but they need the transformation. So that was the program I paid for. That was it. And for
Mhm.
those that are shocked that somebody is paying that amount of money, like, okay, maybe I have a lot of money lying around. I don't. And you'll be shocked at how much people are paying for
For
knowledge. God,
yeah.
I am still paying nothing compared to people. You know all
Mm.
those rich people, you know all those big people out there that you are envying. Everybody is
Yeah.
envying, that we're all envying. Do you know how much they're paying for knowledge?
Yeah.
Hey,
Sometimes even just for access. Do you know how much they pay just for access? They can pay
yes.
millions just to be a part of a club. Just to
Hey,
be a part of a club. Not
they
even
pay a lot. God, hey, my father. I mean, see, when I hear that some coaches, some people are charging about 5,000, 6,000, $7,000
Mhm.
per hour. I'm like,
Executive
per
coaches.
hour.
Because they're giving information that even
Yes,
if you
and
spend
access to them for
yes.
the wealth of knowledge they have.
Mm,
So like when I hear all these things, I'm like, okay, okay. My own kind of knowledge I'm trying to do is not meant for like that level. I'm not into the high ticket
mm,
situation. I'm trying to help people. I'm trying
mm.
to help people that are like somewhere down from where I'm coming from. So I don't
Yeah.
know if I would ever charge that amount of money per hour. But like it just makes me to know that this training has basically like paying for knowledge has been the biggest investment. Not like even the time I put into like when I was a developer, put the time I spent like coding and all of that. All those are good. Um, networking too is really good, but I
Mm,
would say like actually paying something like from the pain like The what's that I mentioned? I said the what's it called? The one I'm still paying for till October now. They
Yes.
still collected their deduction this morning. It pains me, eh? It
Of
pains.
course.
Oh, it pains me because I think about £150 or something. Like when I saw the alert, because I had forgotten that it was today. I'm like,
Okay.
oh my god, it pains me.
Yeah. So
But
it's worth
you
it
see
in the
that
end.
pain? What do you say?
I said it will definitely be worth it in the end.
It's even already worth it. But you see that pain I felt this morning already propelled me. That's why I
Right?
say without pain, there's no gain. If
Again,
you don't
yes. And
pay
you
for
will make the
something,
most
you're not
of it.
as motivated. Yes,
Exactly. Because
that's
I've
it.
realized actually that a lot of like free courses, free programs, a lot of people don't value them as much as the ones they have to pay big bucks
That
for.
is right. That's very
Mm.
right. And
So
and
if,
I it's not a bad thing in itself. It's
mm,
not a bad thing
mm,
that the value is low. It's just a
mm,
natural human behavior. Even
yes.
if, like everybody, normal. You see,
Mhm,
it's the same thing like a man or a guy that wants a girl.
mhm.
If you don't work for it, you will not value
We
it.
appreciate it
It's
exactly.
it's just the
Exactly.
same way. Like
Yeah.
even the way God even made life. Like if you want to have a
Mhm.
child, if you want to have a child, you pay it will pain you.
Right. It's
If
true.
not, you will not value the child. You think you can break up with the
Exactly.
child. You can just break up and say go your way. But when you remember what you went through,
Yes, I totally understand that. So if for people who are interested in your training, do you want to give us do you want to share a bit about it?
okay, yes. So there are different ways to access like my trainings. There are several ways. One of which is there's one-on-one coaching. Um that one is basically like an hour clarity call where you're basically the one leading the session. Leading in the sense like just think of it like therapy for those that have done therapy. For those that, by the way, if you have not gone for therapy, every human being needs therapy. Every
Right.
human being, especially if you're Nigerian, you need
As
therapy.
in most especially.
But back to what we are saying. So basically, think of it as therapy, like where you have something you want to discuss with your therapist, or like basically going to the doctor, even like, oh, I have this particular symptoms, pain, this and this and this. And so think of it that way. So in that sense, you kind of lead the session as far what you come with, what you think you need. Then there'll be diagnosis, and then we can work on a plan together. For instance, most people come to one-on-ones with me with things like, oh, they want to practice mock interviews, or some people say, okay, what they want is I don't know, they want CV and portfolio review. So different things. It depends on what somebody wants to achieve with the session. So there's one-on-ones. Then there is I actually have a couple of free stuff, but this one-on-one is a paid session. At the moment, I am charging really low, and this is going to be my record low ever. I'm
Okay.
charging 97.99 pounds. So that's basically a bit less than £100 for an hour. But some people have been like, oh, okay, can I talk to you for free? And I'm like, okay. For the time being, I'm going to open my calendar like free. So I opened my calendar just a few slots for 20 minutes. Actually, I wanted to make it 15 minutes or even 10 minutes. Like,
No, you can use five for pleasantries. Please.
I mean, I mean, exactly. We'll just say hi, hi, and the time will end. So,
Mm.
for 20 minutes, I've actually done a lot of these 20-minute sessions, and it's been really, really helpful for people. So, some people attend it and they get the answer to their needs and they move on. Some other people
Amazing.
attend. What do you say?
I said amazing.
Yeah, yeah, yes, because it's usually really helpful. It's not like fluff. I don't spend the time trying to sell you something. No, I don't do that. That's really painful. People have done that to me. So you actually gain value. So if somebody comes to even a 20-minute session with me, which is free for now, and the person has specifically wants me to help them review their CV and portfolio, we would review it and I'll tell you exactly what's wrong with it and how you can fix it. If somebody wants mock interviews, specifically, we'll talk about your previous interviews that you've gone through, what you think was wrong. I'll even give you specific questions that you should ask, not even questions that you might be asked, because that's even topic for another day. Many people don't even know that there are important questions you must ask during interview to stand out. Like,
Right.
if you don't ask those kind of questions, like they'll forget you as you are pressing end button. That's the way it is ending. so yeah, so that's one-on-one. So basically, for those that want like a free session, it's first come first serve. I just have the session, I think, next week. I don't know if I'll open my calendar up a week, but yeah, basically there is that. Then I have a webinar like August 12th. That's next weekend, next week Saturday. It depends on when this podcast comes out anyway, but it's August 12th.
Okay.
And yeah, and so the podcast is based, I'm sorry, the webinar.
Yes.
The webinar is basically a Saturday morning, and it's free. That one is free.
Okay.
Um, but for those that want like what I call like a VIP access, which is like one-on-one access to me, but to other, because I'm going to have like recruiters and other high-level career people, UX specifically, come and have a chat and all of that. You want that backstage access, when you go for a party, maybe Davido's concert or something, I have
Right.
VIP backstage access. Not that
Mm,
I've been there, but
mm.
that kind of thing. So there is that access. But basically, all of the information is, I think I've been posting a lot about them recently on my LinkedIn. Um, so anybody that wants to know can just find out on LinkedIn. But I recently released an ebook, actually, a free book. It's not
Wow.
yeah, it's not paid. It's actually a free ebook titled "From Zero Interviews to Overbooked," and basically, I documented the processes, the five major things that you need to do. And chapter one, let me just give a sneak peek. Chapter one deals with your career path. What I was talking about earlier about myself, knowing who you are. That's the very first thing. If you can get that whole thing straightened, every other thing for you to get that job you want, I mean, it's going to be almost like a no-brainer. It's going to happen, and very quickly actually. So yeah, so I released the ebook. The link to that one is actually on my LinkedIn profile. If you're looking for my LinkedIn profile, just type Grace space Ademola hyphen Adenle. Ademola is Ademola hyphen Adenle. I'm sure my name is on this podcast.
Yes, it
Just
is.
copy my name and paste it. I'm one and only. There's no two.
You.
So those are some of the programs, and there'll be more. I think the big one that I'm going to be announcing or releasing, I think that's going to be for maybe my birthday, November, is the career salon, UX career salon. That's what it's called, and I'm only most likely having that once per year. Though I had one in January. It kind of started December last year. It was a 6 weeks program. The one I did in January was a 6 week program, extended to 8 weeks actually, but this time around it's going to be 3 months. And is what it is what it's called, UX Career Salon. So it's basically a lot of things. I'm not going to like talk about that one right now, but the ones that are available are the free ebook, with the free webinar. The invite to the webinar is inside the ebook. It's on the last page of the ebook. So if you want to get all of these goodies, download the free ebook first, and then you will see the invite to the free webinar on the last page of the ebook. And then from that, you can hear more about every other thing. But like I said, the webinar is next week, Saturday, August 12th. And so, yeah, those are the programs I think for now. And then, of course, the one-on-one sessions for anybody that wants a deep dive with me alone, not like so many people in the room with you where you're struggling for my attention, like the webinar would be. But yeah, one-on-one.
Awesome. That's so much value from one person. Like I really still wonder how you're able to like keep up with everything.
Ah, my father, my father. I don't think I'm keeping up with anything. I think I'm actually understanding myself more. So
Hmm.
let me first list all the so many things that are happening in my life.
Okay.
So I'm a wife of a man.
Wow, Kelly, someone has to say that
It's
too.
actually important information these days. And then and then I have a daughter, a toddler, 2 year old. I currently still work at Meta, which is a full time role. Um That's 40 hours per week role. And I, what else am I doing? I'm running a business. Like, well, it's just started. The coaching thing I just talked about, trying to help people in their career. Then, what else? I'm actually starting my master's. Haha. I'm starting my
Okay.
master's in September, which is next month. Oh my God. September is
Amazing.
next month.
Yes.
It's like somebody just slapped me with reality.
Amazing. What course are
Yes,
you
master's in
what
design.
program?
Master's in
Design.
design. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So I'm starting my master's next month. Um, to be honest, I am not sure of how I'm going to run all of this all together.
Mm,
One thing we have to give, and
mm,
that's just fact,
mhm.
because I don't have house help in country
As
like this.
in
It's not you cannot really if you know how much house help will collect. So
as in you will not be working to pay the house help.
that is just
Just
it.
be handing
You'll
over
be
your
struggling to even eat. So and they have so
ah,
many rules and all. So
mm,
I don't have a help and all of that. So I those are all the stuff that are like on ground. But what I have been able to do, one of the things is like one of the things I've said earlier, which is like being able to plan my life in a particular way. And that means I only take up certain kind of jobs. Um yeah, I take up roles that are not everlasting, right? Like I take up roles that are not like too demanding. Let me say it that way.
okay.
As much as I enjoy my work, I'm not here in this world only to work.
Mm,
There's a lot of things I already know that I'm even supposed to be doing that I'm not yet doing.
mm,
So there is that, but also practically, like I said earlier, I shelve out like I put a particular day of the week, which is like Wednesdays, that I only like I get to do other things. I get
mm,
to rest. I get to do like whatever it is I feel like doing. That's like my day, especially in the afternoons. I get to just unwind. And
mm,
because right now, as a mom, I after getting to this country initially, our daughter was fully in like what's it called in daycare, like morning till evening because I was so busy. My husband was so busy, like busy, 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 and we put our head together and be like, this business, business, business. We put us inside the I could send
right.
it and
As in,
we better readjust our brains, you know. And so basically we pulled her out of like the full time. So she's with us in the mornings till about 1 p.m. Then she goes to her daycare from 1 to 6. So
okay.
like that 1 to 6, I did that because I know that that period of time is like when most of my meetings and work I pushed most of my work and meetings to between 1 to 5. So I still work when she's around because she's a bit older now. I engage her with TV, God forgive me, and a lot of toys.
Mm,
Um, and though all educational, but I would have preferred something else, which is why even though it's expensive for us putting her in daycare, she needs that like interaction with other children her age, and there's no TV in her daycare. There's a whole lot of like those are some things that we are trying to be deliberate parents. Let me just say. So there's all that, and then let me see cooking. Cooking food is very stressful for me. Um, I don't know, but you have to cook. Like
mm.
sometimes I'm so tired
Survive.
now. Just looking at it, not physically tired, but mentally tired. You know that kind of tiredness where
Yeah.
you're just looking at your whole house, like see how this house looks like. But I have to be so thankful and so grateful to God. I have a very, 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 very supportive husband. So um many times, sometimes I wake up in the morning and I come downstairs, he has cleaned the whole house, and I'm like, oh my God.
Wow.
So sometimes you would have washed all the dishes. Like this morning, like all the dishes were washed. And like some of the dishes from not like the whole sink was full of dishes
Mm,
anyway, but like
yeah.
those little things really like matter. I think
Yeah.
I should say thank you more to him. And so those are some kind of things that and then he's also my sounding board. Like if I have an idea or something I want to work on, I get to just like we just about it, except when we are fighting, like now.
Oh.
Yeah, but basically like for masters I really don't know how next month, from next month or upper month is going to be, because there's work, and then there has to be school, and then there is like family and all. But like I said earlier, one thing has to give. And
Mm.
um I don't know what it's going to be yet, but I have some ideas.
Mm.
But I think for anybody that has a very busy life, like me,
Mm.
especially women that have a very busy life like me, and we have all our moods. Sometimes you're like, I don't feel like doing it, and like when we're on our periods and stuff.
Mm.
So I think reassessing your priorities per time is one thing that really helps me, and I think can help anybody else. Like,
Yeah.
what right now is my priority? Like, if you need to even do it every day, do it every day. Doesn't matter. Like,
Mm.
just reassessing your priorities. Like, for me, I realized like my priority right now, or let me say my priority a couple of months ago, was to make money and to work in an international like organization, and that was Meta. So I
Mm.
picked up couple of it's not even a permanent contract. So I picked up a couple of months contract with them, like, okay, let me do this for this period of time, and let's
Mm.
see how this feels, let's see how this goes. And
Yeah.
so after making some money, I'll not say it's like a truckload of money, but it's Meta, really good money. I'm not
Mm.
making really good money. I'm now having to reassess, like, okay, what's the next thing? So
Priority. Mm.
yeah, so basically setting priorities, like 2 or 3 months ago, priority for me was like my daughter cannot be in daycare in a Western world from morning to night if I don't
Mm.
want to be in trouble. So priorities shifted. On that end, I basically just realized that, okay, let me look at my calendar. Shifted most of my meetings to afternoons. I'm like, okay, I'll be with her in the mornings. I can still do work while she's here, but I can't take meetings. So just looking around, okay, if you need to outsource cooking, like, God help us. Like, everything does not need to be done by one person. Invest in a freezer, a big, very big, mighty fridge and freezer. Like, I bought one. It only pinch my pocket too. But I'm like, we are going to get this freezer, this fridge and freezer. And we got it. And now the whole thing is filled with food. So,
Mm.
like, there's just some little things. In short, I'm going to start. I think from next month, what I'm going to actually actively start doing is to outsource cooking, because I can't
Okay.
keep myself. Yes, it
Mm.
costs money, but then at least that period of time I'm supposed to be standing and be cooking, I'll just go and close my eyes and sleep, or work on
Mm-hmm.
my business, or school
Yes.
work, anything
Yes.
else. Yeah, and so I think looking at it from that angle of like time also is money. Like, we know this thing, but we don't even act like it. Time is money. Time is really, really money. And
Yeah.
I think those are like some of the ways that I'm able to like manage
Yeah. I can
things.
totally relate to that too. I can totally relate with that. Having a busy life, having a busy family life to work. I'm also doing my masters right now, so it's actually
Ah,
a lot. And I would definitely say
respect.
I would definitely say that try like having different priorities as at the time that whatever is important is important. I think
Yeah,
that has been the way for me. I can
yeah,
totally relate to that. So you talked about like your contract role at Meta, right?
yeah.
What would you say is like the secret to landing like a product design role at like a big tech? I feel like I said like a lot, but if I want to get a product design role in Meta, what's the
Hmm.
secret? What would you say is the secret?
Secret. I don't know. It sounds like one really big secret like that. Well, I think one thing is LinkedIn, really.
Mm.
LinkedIn, I would say, if I had to say one secret, it would be LinkedIn. Even though it's not a well kept secret, it's like
It's out
it's
there.
there. It's out there, but
Mm.
a lot of people underestimate it, and even the ones that know the strength of it do not know how to use it.
Mm.
Um, I I say this to a lot of people that in the past 5 years or so, or 6 years, I have not had to apply for any of the jobs I got. None of them. I was headhunted for all of them, and that's including Meta. So, and all of it happened through LinkedIn. So, which is again why I'll tell anybody and that's listening right now, I'm encouraging you to book a session with me or attend one of my sessions, because it's like I said, it's not really a secret. It's out there, but knowing how to optimize your profile, knowing how to project yourself. Like I was telling a someone I was coaching last night, I told her that she should think of it. Everyone, actually, anyone listening to me right now, think of it like you walk into a store, right? You want to buy a skincare product for we ladies, or a guy wants to buy, I don't know, a shirt or something, and then you look at even the very best brand. Let me talk to ladies now. The very best brand of a skincare product, a hair care product, might, if it's not well packaged, if it's not looking good, I mean, like, why would you buy it? You would miss out on the best product if it's not well packaged. Meanwhile, a bad product that is well packaged, you most likely buy it and take it home. So that is the same thing. That's the same way to look at the job search process, the whole job hunting process. So I don't know if I'll call it like a secret per se. It's more like packaging yourself. It's not lies. It's not telling lies. It's speaking the language of the people that you are trying to get to understand you. You speak their language, right? If you don't speak their language, if you don't communicate your experience and your personality in a way they understand, then it won't pay off, you know. Yeah, so that's it.
That's it. You guys, you heard it here first from a LinkedIn top voice. LinkedIn is the secret. You heard
Yes,
it.
exactly. Exactly. It
Awesome.
is
Thank
a
you so
secret.
much. It's actually past 3. I don't know if you have a few more minutes. Just for like
Oh,
one or two more
yeah.
questions.
I have a few minutes. That's fine.
Awesome. Thank you so
I
much.
lost track of time. This has been really, really good.
Yes, like I've really enjoyed this too. I can't wait to end this. Like I'm so excited.
Please let me know when you air it. I would really, really love to share this with people as well. Like,
Oh,
wow,
definitely.
I've not spoken this much in a long time.
Are you serious? Oh, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Yes.
I'm happy. So, just two more questions actually.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about the $10,000 you won from Standard Chartered? And how did that feel?
I was hoping to that you would jump this question.
Really? You don't want
Uh,
us to know that you won a big cash prize.
ah, okay. So that was 2020, October or November or so. So it was an accelerator program for or for women in Nigeria. So it's called Standard Chartered Women in Tech Incubator. I think that was the name. So SCWITI. So that was the 2020/2021 cohort, and so there were a lot of like applicants, of course, and like out of everyone, like I was one of the 10. I think one of the 10, yeah, and then I was one of the, how many people won the cash prize? Was it five of us or three of us? I can't remember now. And so,
Amazing.
yeah, so I think they said there were like more than 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000. I don't even know. Several people
Wow.
basically applied
Wow.
for it. And then, like, it was a very vigorous couple of months. So we started the program maybe October or November that year. And um, the cash prize was gotten around May or April. I think May or April of the next year. So it was like very stressful process.
Wow.
Um, and it felt, if to be honest, it felt really gratifying and really good winning that amount of money. Um, More because like it was a very, very stressful process, like I said. Not like just stressful because the process was stressful, but because I was pregnant as well.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that
That's
was when I was pregnant for my daughter. So
amazing.
I mean, it was crazy because like I was just many people that because we're attending the sessions physically, right? We had a
Oh,
vibe.
wow.
The initial first week or 2 weeks of the program was physical, like in Lekki, in EDC. That's like this what's their name again? um Pan African something something, I can't remember. Basically, so it was like it was quite stressful in that regard. So I had to like rent like an Airbnb close by because I live on the mainland, and then I had to be
Yeah.
there by. It was good. I almost lost my pregnancy actually.
Mhm.
Actually,
Oh,
almost lost my. I think I was maybe I was still early in my pregnancy, maybe 3 months or so.
Wow.
Yeah. So I
That
was like,
the morning sickness ended at that time.
no, I didn't even have any of that. Funny
Oh,
enough,
amazing.
I didn't have too much bad symptoms.
Okay.
But I started bleeding. Like I started like having some certain kind of bleeds, unusual bleeding, and then went to a hospital close by there. And then the doctor made me really scared. Like, oh, you're about to lose your pregnancy, give back Nicole, and you're under stress and all. And I'm like, okay. So I took injections, and then like I still went for my classes. So.
Wow. Unrelenting. That's
I was relentless, but it was not. I wasn't just doing it because I was chasing money. No, just
mm,
because I saw it like there was a lot of really really valuable information and connections, and well, I taking care of the issue. I took injections.
mm,
I had
mm,
some rest. I wasn't exerting myself as much,
yeah.
but it was a really good one. Um, at the time I used the funds then to I think a good part of the funds I used for setting up like a studio because I was doing a lot of videos and all that trainings. It was around that time I did a lot of like this product design like courses. That time I was doing most of all those kind of things. So
Okay. Okay.
it was really really good. Honestly, it was really good and yeah.
Amazing. That must have felt, like you said, really gratifying. Must have felt, great to be
Yeah, it did.
acknowledged and to receive an award like that. That's amazing.
Yes.
Well done.
When I
Well done.
applied for it, I didn't even know anything big was coming out of it. It was just one of those things you're like, okay, I saw this thing. It's cool. I think, oh, it was a friend of mine that shared it with me, actually.
Okay. Wow.
Mercy Annie, calling her out in case she's hearing this.
So
Yeah.
Mercy, yes, thank you. For
Yes,
putting
Mercy was
that
on that
on.
shared it with me. And yeah, Mercy
That-
is one of those kind of friends that you need in your corner.
wow, that's amazing.
Everybody needs a Mercy in their life.
Mercy, if I were you, I'll be. If nobody can tell me anything again, no, I'll be flexing.
I know.
So how does it feel being, LinkedIn's top voice? Like, what does that entail? What does that mean to you?
I don't know, really, because I wasn't aware that there was anything like that when I got it. It's different from the Standard Chartered like $10,000, because that I was aware that there was a prize, but I knew nothing about LinkedIn Top Voice, whatever. I'm even looking at my box of the gift they sent to my house. LinkedIn
Wow.
sent me a special package. I'm looking at it right now. I brought it to this UQ. I'm like, they sent it to me all the way in Nigeria.
Wow.
Yes. And I'm looking, I carry it up and down. And so I think it even felt much more special, even though it's just a title. Well,
Mm,
sort of, it felt way more special than even the $10,000, to be honest.
mm,
And I think it's mainly because it was something I wasn't expecting. It was
okay.
something that I wasn't necessarily working for. I wasn't
Mm,
actually working for it. I didn't even know it existed.
mm,
Um, Now that I'm aware it exists and I've been getting inboxes and all from LinkedIn, in case LinkedIn staff they are listening to me, like, oh, get a new title or something, something. I've been getting all that. I'm like, now that I'm aware, I'm not too motivated because I'm like, I don't do many of the things I do. It's not for recognition. I just do stuff. Like, I mean, I just do stuff because there's a real reason, there's a real purpose. So
mm,
I'm not too interested in the whole thing. So that's why I say I don't really know what's it like what the title
mm.
meant. I didn't know what it meant at the time, but now it even means so much more because it was because of me helping people. That's like because of the impact that I had on people and they saw it, they observed it. I'm like, okay, this is really good. This person deserves an award. So yeah.
That is fantastic. And for me, I'll admit I'm also an award winner because I have a
Yep.
little top voice on my podcast, so I'm an award winner by association.
I actually thought you were serious. Like, see me going to LinkedIn, like, okay, let me check
Don't
this out.
mind me.
Let me call somebody out.
Don't
Uh,
mind me. So
well,
just to
yes.
round up, what's one thing you want to be remembered for?
One thing I want to be remembered for.
And if not
Um,
Maybe multiple things you want to be remembered for.
Okay. I used to say to some people that I think my biggest fear in this life is not, it's not actually death. Like, I mean, I'm not too scared of dying. I remember when I was giving birth to my child, I did CS, I did operation. I wasn't too afraid of dying. I just felt like, oh more. So it is how I'll pass this earth and nobody will know that I was here. That was
Mm,
that was that was my fear. So I
okay.
think even now I I've lost track of the question you asked me because I'm so
So,
passionate about.
what's one thing you want to be remembered for?
Yeah, so what's the one thing I want to be remembered for? I don't know. Basically, I think maybe like impacting people's lives. I want
Mm.
to be remembered for being a part of someone's life, like enough to change their life, to make their life better. For instance, whenever I hear responses from some of my previous mentees or people that I've coached in the past, like it makes me feel so happy. Like there's one that I coached 2021, I think, or 2020. I think 2021, she got a
Okay.
job with, no, it was early last year, 2022. She got a job with a company here in the UK. They sponsored her license, everything, all the way from Nigeria. She's here. She
Wow.
lives in London. Yeah. She's working with Wise, this
Okay.
fintech.
Mm.
And I mean, when she told me, I was like, OMG. And then there's one of the people I coached in January. Actually, it was four ladies I coached. Four
Okay.
ladies. They were all ladies. I'm beginning to think I should only be working with women.
Women. Maybe we're
But
more
anyway,
driven than the other
anyway,
gender.
what do you say?
I said maybe we're more driven than the other gender.
I don't know. Maybe. I
Please,
mean,
I'm
it's
not
funny
joking.
how I had sessions with, like, I had these free sessions last year, November or so. I had these free sessions with a lot of people and took four ladies, though
Hmm.
not too many people, but four ladies. One of them is here in the UK, and she has a really good job. She's earning how much now? Like as an entry, not really entry level. She's kind of mid level designer, and she's earning 52. She was able to negotiate a 52K salary per annum,
Wow.
and I'm like,
Pounds,
when I
so
hear these things, and I'm like, yes, yes, yes. I'm like,
wow.
this right here is
Is
it.
what
Is
yeah.
worth it. Like I think that's what I want to be remembered for. I want to be remembered like in people's prayers, in people's like in their inner chamber.
Mm,
They're
as
inside their room.
yes
I'm
now.
like, thank God for this person. Thank God I came across this
Hmm.
girl. Like that's it for me.
I love that. And I think you're definitely well on your way there.
Thank
What advice do you have? This is the final question. What advice do you have? Maybe just final nuggets, final piece of advice for aspiring product designers, or people that are trying to get into tech. What would you say, would be like one key advice you would share with them?
Yeah. This advice is literally for anybody listening to me. It doesn't matter if you're a product designer or a researcher or a software engineer or even not in tech. It doesn't matter. And it is chapter one of my ebook, which everyone should get. It is basically for you to know yourself. Um, the title of that chapter says, "Your UX career. Who are you?" So if you want to get to a particular level, you can't get there without even knowing where you're coming from, knowing where you are, and knowing where you want to be. Like your past, your present, your future, all comes together. Like everything is literally existing as one. I don't want to go too philosophical about this, but but basically, you can get to where you want to be, which is most likely having a fulfilling life for yourself, a life that is enjoyable, and you're living life on your own terms, not like just hustling and hustling. You can't have that kind of life without knowing exactly who you are. Like, I mean, what would you be doing if all the resources were at your disposal? Like that's a question to ask oneself. And how I would make that a bit practical is me, for instance. I love talking. When I say talking, it's not like you just catch me and I'll just start talking, but like talking, productive talk, kind of talk that helps improve somebody else's life. I like talking to people. I like getting to know them, and I like helping out. So That has been my nature almost forever. It kind of led me towards one thing, then the next thing, and then where I am, and even where I'm headed towards. So it is part of why I'm in product design. It's part of why the part of product design that I enjoy the most is research and strategy. You see how it kind of links to like talking, so to say. And it's also the reason why now I'm kind of gravitating more towards like career coaching. It's because again, talking and helping people. So my biggest advice, the best advice, the one and only advice actually that comes to my mind right now is like be clear on who you are, be clear on your identity, on your purpose. If you're clear on that, it's not just like in a ministry or in a in a churchy form point of view. Like it's more like from a whole living like existence point of view. Like Bill Gates knows who he is. Mark Zuckerberg, if I pronounce his name right, knows exactly who he is. Like all these big people, Oprah, she knows who she is. Like all of these people know who they are. That's why they are where they are. It's easy to chart your path if you know where you're coming from, if you know where exactly if you are, and you know what you're gunning for. And I would say one small tip is where you're going for, what you're gunning for should, or where you're going to, I mean, and what you're gunning for should not be money. I mean, money should not be all you're about. What you're, in short, it shouldn't be what you're about at all. It has to be something bigger than that. Yes, it should bring money in the process, but it can't be the end game. So that's all from me for now.
That is fantastic advice and for free. Oh. I'm very
Ah, yes.
I'm very some people are paying almost £100 to hear this advice. So
Ah, yes, yes,
glad
yes.
that
And
you
some
heard
people
it.
still pay. Somebody even paid yesterday night. So some
Wow.
people will still pay. They will pay. They have to pay. Yeah, where there is no pain, there's no gain.
As in, as in, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much again, Grace, for
Thank
coming
you.
to the podcast. Before we leave, before we round up,
Yeah.
before we go anyway, I want to play a little game. Two
Mm,
truths and a lie. So can you share like maybe three statements about yourself? I don't know if you've played this before. You
I've
share
not
three
told,
statements
but it's
about
fun.
yourself. So you say two things that are true and one is a lie. So maybe you say something like, "My favorite color is pink. I have a daughter and I'm married." And then because we know you have a daughter and you're married, we know that that's a lie. So don't make it too obvious so they won't be. So please tell us three statements, and the person who guesses right which one is the lie. So you can guess it, enter my LinkedIn or Twitter DMs and tell me which one you think is the lie. The first person to guess right will win a film house cinema ticket. I'm very sorry. This is I guess only applies for people in Nigeria. Yes.
Let's up it a bit, the gift a bit. So I think the
Okay.
first person to get it will get 50% discount off a one-on-one
Amazing.
with me. Yeah. Let's oh,
Amazing.
oh my god, I sure just thought of this right now. This is crazy.
Amazing.
I
Thank
just
you
said
very much.
50%. Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
Okay, now that I can't draw it, I can't take back my word.
You can take it back home. I will edit it out. No way.
Oh my god. Okay.
Amazing. Awesome. Okay, so if you're ready to learn from Grace, just at least you've heard from like the tip of the iceberg, the things she's shared with us today, if you're ready for that, enter my DMs quickly, LinkedIn or Twitter, everything will be linked to the show notes. So Grace will tell us the three statements now. You have to guess which one is the lie.
Oof. I don't know. Okay. I'm thinking of how to not make this thing too, too easy.
So yeah.
I'm
You don't want
putting
people to, you
my
don't
mind
want
to
anyone
stand
to
on
win.
it.
So gotta tell you maybe all the three will even be lies self.
Ah, okay. No, no, I won't do that. That would be cheating.
As
Okay.
in okay.
So, wow. Okay, let's do this. I am married. My daughter's first name starts with S, and my favorite color is purple.
Okay, even me, I'm thinking, oh, which one is it? Okay, so Grace, please, you just maybe send me a message with the correct
I
one later.
will.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And that is a wrap on another episode of The Spotlight. A huge thank you to our incredible guest, Grace, for gracing us with her wisdom and passion for UX design. I hope you all found this conversation as inspiring and enlightening as I did. Remember that the journey of a product designer is one that is filled with continuous growth and learning. Grace's invaluable insights on navigating the tech industry, standing out in the job market, and embracing a fulfilling work life balance are a treasure trove for all aspiring innovators out there. If you enjoyed this episode and want to hear more amazing conversations like this with industry experts, hit that follow or subscribe button so you never miss a beat. And please don't forget to leave us a review. Your feedback means the world to us and helps us curate content that resonates with you. You can connect with Grace on LinkedIn to stay updated with her latest insights and updates on all things UX and career development. You certainly don't want to miss out on the wealth of knowledge that she has to offer. The link to her LinkedIn profile will be in the show notes. Remember to also send me a DM on Twitter at the spot_light for a chance to get 50% off a one-on-one with Grace and a Filmhouse cinema ticket to see a movie of your choice. Of course, that is if you can correctly guess which of the three statements she made is a lie. As always, if you have any questions, topic suggestions, or you want to be a guest on the show, even, don't hesitate to reach out. You can find me on LinkedIn. My profile will be linked in the show notes, or you can drop me an email at iwalolashobowale@gmail.com. Thank you for tuning in to the Spotlight today. Remember that your journey as a product designer is unique and every step you take brings you closer to your dreams. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep innovating.